Hello everyone, welcome to CivilPrep. I'm Krishna Gupta, and this is a session which is Prelims Prep. Okay, here we'll be looking at the PYQ which are rooted in the various previous year questions. Okay, which is UPSC Civil Services exam, and the coverage will be taken from 2011 to 2015. Here we'll be looking at the subjects of geography, environment and ecology, and science and technology. Here we see that geography is currently having a question frame of around 14 to 16. Environment and ecology is having a question frame of around 20. And science and technology is having a question frame of around 12 to 15. So if we combine this together, we will see that this program, it covers around 40 to 45 questions, which are very crucial for clearing the prelims examination. What we see in the contemporary time, that for example in 2025 there have been certain questions. For example, if I take geography, it is on isotherm. If we root it, we will find that in the year of 2024 there is another question on this isotherm. If we go to the year of 2020, yes, there is another question on isotherm, which is for 26 degrees Celsius for ocean mean temperature and sea surface temperature. So on the basis of this analysis, we will be able to predict or model our preparation in such a way that if a question is related to certain isotherm, so we will be able to clear that question in a very easy manner. So this is our aim here, that we need to root out and understand these roots, that how these roots are being formed, and we will be taking PYQs, that is previous year questions, for understanding them. Okay, so guys, this program we will see that it is for geography, environment and ecology, and science and technology. But we will see that this will be having a duration from 27th of October till 31st of December. And after this will be seen, there will be other subjects for economy, for polity and governance, for history. Those will also be covered from Jan to March in similar way. And also there will be classes on CSAT. Which will be starting from November. So guys, this is a complete prelims package program, which will be covering a very holistic coverage of prelims exam preparation for overcoming it and not making it a hurdle for writing mains or appearing for interview. Moving further, Civil Prep. Here we are working for transforming potentials into possibilities. That is from aspirants to civil servants. Guys, I would like you to join my YouTube channel. You can scan this QR code, and I would also like you to join my Telegram group, which is having a QR code here, which will be quite simple for you to have access to various resources for engaging in various daily activities for elevating your preparation levels. Now, first topic we'll be looking at for geography. We'll be starting here with syllabus. So first is physical geography. If we look at the geography from the prelims perspective, it is basically the resources which are present in India and South Asia. It is the demography, it is the population of India and the South Asia. And overall, we'll be seeing that the physical features, the physical processes. So it is quite limited. But when we look at the PYQs, we get a holistic view. So overall, we see that the origin and universe, origin of Earth and universe, then solar system, PYQs are asked here, geological evolution, yes, Earth structure and composition. It is very important. When we look at the geomorphology, landforms, questions are asked, plate tectonics, earthquakes, volcanoes, weathering and erosion, mass movement, drainage systems. All of these are very important topics. When we go for climatology, yes, atmospheric circulation, very important. Monsoons, cyclones, very important. Climate classification, yes, questions are asked here too. Global warming in the contemporary time, it is asked as a contemporary questions. Then For oceanography, we have ocean currents, tides, marine resources, coral reefs, and sea level changes, which are almost asked in 2 to 3 years. Then here we have biogeography, soil formation, vegetation type, then biodiversity, ecosystem distribution, which is quite important for us. Now, looking at the human and economic geography, we have population and settlement, demography, migration pattern, urbanization, rural-urban dynamics. Under the economic activities, agriculture, yes, industries, services, location theories, and regional development. Very important. Mineral distribution, very important. India and world. Energy resources, India and world, very important. Water resources, India and world, very important. And the land utilization. Then for transport and communication, railways, very important. Road, national highways, international highways, ports of India and world, airways, digital connectivity is also quite important for us. Then we have regional geography. Here we see it from the perspective of Indian geography and world geography, where we look at the physical divisions like mountains, rivers, plains, plateaus, peaks, passes, etc. Climate, rivers, agriculture, very important, industries, and population distribution. Apart from this, when we look at the world perspective, continents, countries, rivers, oceans, sea, mountains, types of mountains, their location, types of regions of world. So this is one of a very important aspect where almost 4 to 5 questions are asked every year. So we'll be covering this in a very holistic manner. Then we have mapping and current affairs, where we have world and India mapping with political boundaries, physical features, and various places in news. For example, if there is an issue in Palestine and there is an issue in Israel and Iran, so what are the physical features, what are the places in news, where they are for, and what are the geographical locations which are there? So it will be discussed here. Apart from this, yes, contemporary issues, including climate or environmental challenges, sustainable development, and climate change impact. This will be also covered in quite detail. Looking at the trend of geography for prelims exam, here we'll see that here we'll be seeing that before 2018-19, here we have certain questions which are going for more than 15 marks, 15 numbers, then 14 numbers, then 16 numbers. So we see that the average number of questions here was 14 to 16. Before that, we'll be seeing that after this, there is a slack where we see that the questions and the numbers, it was average around 10. Then after 2021, we see that the questions and number of questions which are coming in the contemporary time, it is 16 to 18. So we need to focus on this aspect that currently the geographical arena, it is increasing, and how we can interlink it, how we can analyze it by the PYQ. So this will be a very good tool for us to understand. Now, moving forward, we have environment and ecology syllabus. Number 1 is ecology, where ecology, functions of an ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, environmental pollution, renewable energy, then environmental issues, environmental impact assessment. This will be covered in quite detail. Then we have biodiversity, where the questions are becoming more dynamic. But yes, it is not like they cannot be solved. They can be solved, but we need to have a very good approach here. Under biodiversity, Indian biodiversity landscape, then Schedule Animals of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, Animal Diversity of India, Plant Diversity of India, Marine Organisms Protected Area Network, for example, Biosphere Reserve, National Park, then protected areas. This will be covered here. After this, we'll be looking at the climate change, ocean acidification, ozone depletion, impact of climate change, various mitigation strategies, and Indian climate change, for example, NAPCC. Then the climate change organizations present in India and world, this will be covered in detail with respect to PYQs. Agriculture, very important part. Almost 2 to 3 questions are coming every year from this aspect. Pollution, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3 questions every year. Then acts and policies, institution and measures, environmental organizations, international environmental conventions like Basel Convention, Rotterdam Convention, environmental issues and health effects will also be covered with respect to PYQ. If we look at the trend, here we see that around 2018, we have an average here of 10 to 15. So this was the trend. But after this, we'll be seeing that we are having a trend of around 18 to 22. So currently we see that the weightage of environment has also increased. So how we can gain access to the questions which can come in future in examination, and this type of questions can be very easily covered. So for this, we'll be looking at this particular questions and its dynamics. Now, moving further, we have science and technology. Science and technology is one of the most important part of the prelims exam, because if you cover science and technology, which has almost around 10 to 13 questions every year, so it makes way for us to go for mains. So here we see that previously the fundamental concepts of science were asked with respect to physics, chemistry, and biology. Here, the physical part, the physics part, and the biology part is most important. Here, universe and solar system, Big Bang theory, nebular hypothesis, very important. Four fundamental forces of nature, very important. Nuclear physics, fission, fusion, and various reactors, very important. Electromagnetic waves and spectrum, the questions they are being asked almost around 1 to 2 every year. Fundamental forces, it can be around 1. Then optics and light properties, almost 1 to 2 questions. Then moving further, motion, energy, and thermodynamics, almost 1 question. Quantum mechanics, every 2 to 3 years, there is 1 question here. Then chemistry, we have various topics here, like atomic structure, chemical bonding, acids and bases, metals, non-metals, carbon compounds and organic chemistry, chemical reactions and equations, solutions and mixtures. This is important for us to solve various questions with respect to the applied part. Then biology, cell structure and function, 1 question. Human anatomy and physiology, okay. Plant biology and photosynthesis, genetics and hereditary, 1 question. Evolution and classification, microorganisms and disease, 1 question. Nutrition and metabolism, reproduction in organisms, 1 question. So we see that biology is having a very high weightage with respect to the science and technology. When we look to the applied science and current technologies, we have information technology and computers, quite important. Computer basics and internet, like internet, web 2.2, 3.2, 4.2. Then digital infrastructure and e-governance, 1 to 2 questions. Cyber security and cyber threat, 1 question. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, almost 1 question. Blockchain technology, yes. Quantum computing, fundamentals and national quantum mission, okay, very important. Then ISRO missions are also asked, okay, with respect to the various missions. Satellite communication and navigation, very important. Remote sensing applications, quite important. Space exploration in global space programs. Then medical biology, vaccine, highly important. Gene therapy, very important. Agricultural biotechnology, GM crops, Betty cotton, nutritional enhancements. Previously asked, but yes, can be asked in future also. Industrial biotechnology, biofuels and bioplastics, hot topics, can be asked in next years. Then we have nanotechnology and robotics. Robotics applications, industries, services, defense. Highly asked in contemporary time. National Robotics Mission, nanotechnology in medicine, industry, and environment, hot topic. Nuclear and defense technology, nuclear reactors, nuclear energy policy, indigenous defense technology. Okay, very highly in use in the contemporary time. Defense R&D and Make in India initiatives. Then policy, intellectual property, and institutional framework. Science and technology policies, National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, Digital India, Startup India, National Supercomputing Mission, very important in contemporary time. Then biotechnology and robotics policy is also important. Then we have intellectual property rights, very important. Patent system and TRIPS agreement, geographical indications, traditional knowledge protection, compulsory licensing and IPR challenges. Here we'll see that this part is mixed with either economy or it is mixed with geography or it is mixed with international affairs or international relations. Then we have ISRO, DRDO, DST, DBT, CSIR, and BARC. These are also quite important institutions which we are working on contemporary time. Then contemporary development in emerging technologies like space missions and discoveries, advances in AI, quantum computing, and nanotech, very important. Biotechnological innovation and public health, very important. Environmental and clean technologies. These are very highly in use in contemporary time. And since last 2 to 3 years, they are always having one question from any of them, like renewable energy, pollution control and waste management, and climate change mitigation technologies. Future trend will be seeing gene editing, synthetic biology, 3D, 4D, 5D printing, and advanced manufacturing is also in news. Ethical, social, and regulatory aspects of emerging technologies is also in news. Now, trend will see that previously the trend was like declining with respect to the science. The questions were varying from almost 14 to 17 questions. But now we have seen that this was till 2015. From 2015 to 2020, we'll see that the number of questions here started to decline. It was around average 8 to 10. Here we'll see that it is 14 to 17, then it was 8 to 10. But now the trend has changed. Okay, the trend here, it is signifying that the number of questions are from 11 to 13. So this is also an important trend where we see that geography 14 to 16, then environment 16 to 18, and science and technology 11 to 13. So making them almost 45 questions plus with these 3 subjects only. So guys, what we will do here, we will try to go through these topics. We'll try to go through all these things. And yes, we will transform your potentials into the possibilities for civil services and administrative services. So guys, what we will do here, this session is for the awareness for about the syllabus, what we will be discussing, what questions will be forming. And in the next part of the session, we will be looking at certain questions from geography, environment and ecology, and science and technology. So friends, do subscribe to the channel, do join the Telegram group, and yes, do share your feedback with me that how did you find this session and how we can improve it more. So guys, all the best, take care and thank you.